Hello, I would like to inform you that you're about to listen to a lot of bullshit comments. So you might not agree with them, but that's the way of the world. Everyone has different opinions to you, so please don't cancel any of us, please. And I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hello everyone, this is the It Talks About podcast, a podcast series talking about cosplay, Comic-Con and everything else. I'm your host Eddie, and this week I am doing another Dear Diary because I have been so disorganised, I've been so out of sorts for a long time, and I I don't know, this is going to be a difficult one for me to talk about. I don't look, whilst I remember, I'm safe, I'm fine. Just, I just somewhat. I hate to say that. I'm just tired. I'm tired about a lot of things right now, and it's starting to catch up with me, and yeah. So and not that anyone probably would ask or thinking about this, but don't worry, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I'm still going to be doing the the photography thing and all that. It's just, I think lately I just need to realign what's important to me and what matters to me and the effort I put in and things like that. So let's do Dear Diary. Let's do the Dear Diary. Let's do a welfare check. Eddie, how are you? Yes, I'm fine, Eddie. I'm, as I said, just tired and just could do with some help right now. No, I'm happy to talk about this out loud because I think it's healthy for me to talk about things that are not great in my life. And yeah, it's not, look. So I'm being very cagey about what I'm about to say, and somewhat I have to because some of it is there's something that's it's very personal to my life, and I don't know how much I should say what it's linked to and things like that. So, but definitely part of it is to my current work life, and it's something that I can't go into great detail about it, but yeah, I'm just at a point in my life where I'm questioning a lot of things about things. But anyway, let's start again proper. Okay, so Eddie, how are you? I'm doing fine. I think the phrase I've been using last 2-3 months was I'm struggling, but I'm not failing, which is great in my mind because I'm recognizing that I'm somewhat not in a good place. I'm somewhat not in a happy place. But I'm recognizing it. I'm not trying to fool myself by saying, "Oh, tomorrow will be a different day" and things like that. It's like, no. Things are not happy. The balance in your life is not great, and it's not something that I wanted to be. What's the word? Experiencing right now. So a lot of the things I've been trying to do this year, especially this year, I'm trying to get out of my own comfort zone. I'm trying to what's the word? What's the word? I'm trying to do other things in my life. I'm trying to enjoy life without needing other people. As people know me, I'm trying. I'm a people person. I like having people around me. I like having friends. I like going out. But lately, like I said, I'm in a point in my life where everyone's either out and about, paired off. They're not living where I'm living, and it's hard to meet up with people nowadays. So, I keep telling myself I'm gonna go join a club, and I've been saying this for God knows how long, that I'm gonna join an improv class or a comedy club or do line dancing. It's still on the table. It's still on the table, but I think time is running out, and I'm failing quite badly about trying to attend things. There's always something on, or I'm always thinking about, oh, I don't want to be doing this. I don't want to be. The reason I don't want to be doing this is more about I don't want to be. I mean, I could be spending time doing these podcasts, editing photos, trying to connect with people, trying to do that. It is absolutely. It feels relentless that whatever I do, there's always something that I prioritize over my own self, and I need to start putting myself more ahead of myself. Anyway, I need to. So let's. I'm going all over the place. I'm so sorry. I like anything at the moment. I've not got a script in front of me. I've not got really plans or thoughts in my head of how I'm going to do this podcast. I'm literally talking from the heart. So forgive me that I'm talking all over the place and just being very erratic. I'm trying to check something actually whilst I think about things. Oh no, okay. So I can't remember in my last Dear Diary, which was in July time, that when I think the last time I took proper photos with Purple Muffins, and we were shooting a Catwoman cosplay, and that was really fun. I've only now just finished editing those photos, so we're in October now. That was done mid June, so it's been about almost 4 months. It's taken me 4 months to do that, but I've had, I think, MCM photos to get out of the way first as well. When did I get those photos done? I think I got those done in August time, I think. So yeah, it's quite, yeah. All right, let's go over that. Okay, so since July, I was talking about going to a concert, going to the Batman exhibition. God, get your teeth out, Ed. And the incident I had. But I think I as exciting my life could sound like, well, I think I've been really been all over the place, as you're hearing in this podcast. But I wouldn't say that I've done a lot with my life since July. So July, August, September, October. It's been 3 months. Let's check my diary, because that might help me discover what I've been doing. This is how raw I am. I've just literally not done much. I've not been doing much thinking. I've been to a few comedy shows lately. So that's the one thing I've been doing a little bit more, is going to comedy shows on my own. So since July, I've seen at least 3 comedians. I've seen Jimmy Carr, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. I know not everyone enjoys Jimmy Carr, but I like him. I think he's his comedy is a bit it's up my street, and I love how unapologetically rude he is and pushes the boundary of what could be said out in public. And I like, I do get the point that his jokes are, very crass and very rude, but at the same token, I seek out for that thing and appreciate that others don't. So I've got to remember that and remind myself of that. Another comedian I saw was Brinley Stent. She's from New Zealand, and I first saw her on a show called Taskmaster New Zealand. And if anyone's heard this podcast, they know how much I love Taskmaster. So when I saw her that she was in this country, I went, "Fuck it, I'm going. I am going to see Brinley Stent in central London." And yeah, to be fair, I probably should have sat down and watched some of her previous shows. I found it funny, but not funny to me, because I think it's a very personal point of view which I couldn't really relate to. And yeah, I think she called it. What did she call it? Frigid. That's it. She called her 1 hour show Frigid. Is it Frigid? Oh god, now I've got to double check. Did I have written this down? Frigid. Yeah, I did get it. I am pronouncing it right. So yeah, so that was fun. And the last comedian I saw was Janet Yan. So if anyone's using that young person's app called TikTok, you might know her. She did a load of TikToks in Australia and might have reached here. She does a lot of comparison between things that happen in Sydney but nowhere else type of thing, or Melbourne, and things like that. And again, she's also been on Taskmaster Australia, but I did know her first from like social media before Taskmaster. But yeah, it's been. I think I did enjoy Jen Tian's one. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to enjoy it, because I think I may have had that Brinley Stent show in my head, so I was like, ooh, things like that. Yeah, and I'm just looking at my diary. It's been pretty empty. I think because my summer, I usually take a 2 week break from work of some sort, or at least a week off. But again, a lot of things have happened at work, and I chose to stay at work. So I don't feel like I've had a break. I've just been motoring on here, there, and everywhere. Well, no, that's a lie. I've had breaks before the summer break, but again, I feel like I took a break away from work, not, and then stayed at work when there was nothing going on. So probably, yeah, it's a bit weird. Anyway, what was I going to say? So really, I've had nothing to like. I haven't really taken a step back, but I feel like I need to take a step back, or I've been taking step backs every so often. Like I've not been publishing podcasts weekly as I hope to, and I might next year go from a weekly podcast to whenever I can, because I am finding it harder and harder to both one, think of topics to talk about, two, find guests. It is getting increasingly hard to find guests, and it's nothing against the people I've had before or future guests, or maybe I understand that everyone's busy now. Everyone's got when I started this 4 years ago, that people were at home all the time. Now everyone's like out and about and doing things. So I totally understand things have changed. So I'm not damning people for that. So it's something I have to deal with and work out for next year, because like I said, I might go from a weekly to not, or I just plan better. I just think that's it. Like I said, I've been very disorganized and things like that. So yeah, I probably should have used the August time to really take a break and really plan things. But I like I said, my brain's so erratic at the moment. It's running a million miles an hour at the moment. It's like I start thinking of one thing, and then something else pops into my brain. Go, oh, Eddie, you need to do that. So, oh, crap, I need to sort that out. And once I sort that out, I go back to the original thing. But Eddie, you need to sort this out. Oh, yeah, I need to sort that out. Start thinking about that, and then don't forget about that. Oh, yeah. So I'm like the guy who's like spinning plates, and then either I pick up the plate and put it down and go, right, that's completed, or it smashes to the ground. I'm going, huh. But I still pick up the pieces and try to spin that still anyway, which is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so that's probably how to best describe my life at the moment. But I will admit that in August I went on a plane twice. What I mean by twice, not going there and back. I went to two different destinations. The reason I went to Ireland, I was just watching a game. I was watching something that's related to my workplace. So it was quite good. It was really enjoyable. The results didn't turn out the way it did. I got to meet some of my old. So part of my job role, I have to look after certain students, and I got to meet one or two of them. It was quite seeing them old faces and just seeing how well they're getting on in life, and it was really good to catch up with them. And it was a bit of a whirlwind trip out to Ireland. And literally, I was only there for about a day and a half, if I'm honest. A day and a half. I flew out the Saturday morning and then flew back Sunday afternoon. It's basically, it was the prices for hotels was so expensive. I think the plane trip as well was expensive, so it made no sense to like stay out there any longer than I could afford, because the following week, again, if you've heard my podcast before, you know what I'm about to say. I went to VinCon, and I love VinCon. VinCon for me is just one of the best events you could ever go to. And yes, I know there's other events that are similar to this, Colossal Con in America, and I think there's one called Camp Con or something like that in the UK, which I've seen photos for it, and they look good, they look all right, but I just think it's not the same. It's not the same, and I think it's because look, I've said this once before, and I don't want people to take criticism when I say this, and this is not a slight on anyone or the community as a whole, but I actually, like I said, my brain likes seeing new people, like meeting new people, like chatting to people, things like that. And if I keep meeting the same people in the UK over and over again, my brain like needs something else. It needs something to do. It needs to see. So going to a foreign con for me really excites me. It really engages a lot of my brain. And VinCon is the one trip of the year I go to, abroad, meet different cosplayers that I majority don't see in the UK. There are UK cosplayers. I think who did I meet? I met Honeybee. She was there. She was there, and I went, "Oh, you're here! Oh, God, yeah." And I think I may have mentioned this story on the podcast, and I don't mind saying it again. It does have a bad ending, but yeah. So on the so the VinCon's over 3 days. So it's like a Friday night, full day Saturday, full day Sunday, and in the evenings you can use the pool area at. VinCon's it's set at a Centre Parks, and so we get a pool. We got the forest areas, the volleyball. I think that's a volleyball court there on sand. Yeah, it's a proper holiday park as well. So yeah, you can go there with your family or friends and just have a good chill holiday there. So yeah, so in the evenings you jump in the pool or take some photos around the pool and things like that. And it's quite cool. But it's quite dark though, so you do need a bit of lighting and things like that. There is an ambient light which you can use that to help with. But last year I took my lights and I really thought I had some good results with my lights, and and I thought, how can I upgrade this? I'll get some stands for it, because the lights I brought had to be powered by USB-C power bank, and also you have to clamp it onto things. They sometimes work, sometimes it doesn't. So having stands help, so I can easily move about without much fuss. Now I got my stuff out, set it all up, put it onto stands, and I was then to go, I've got to do a bit of admin work on my social medias, and so I thought, I'll do that first before I forget again. As I was doing a bit of social media, this photographer came up to me and said, "Can I borrow your lights if you're not using them?" I went, sure. And I lent it in, and I followed him with my lights. And I was watching him and I was just helping him hold the lights. But obviously, I had 2 lights, so I only had, obviously, could stand one over the other. I wasn't looking at the time, but I think I put my head up, and I'm sure I saw a person run past it. Thing that gust of wind just knocked one of my light stands straight into the pool. I looked at it and I could see sparks. I'm sure the light dimmed out as well. I'm going, cool. And the first reaction, as always, if anything bad happens to me, is just don't react. And I don't know why my body does that. I don't know why my mind does that, but it just doesn't react. So and the photographer said, "Oh look, I'll go replace it," and things like that. So he's very apologetic and all that. I've yet to hear from him. I've messaged him a few times, but I don't think he's great with social media or looking at his DMs. And there's no other ways for me to contact him. So yeah, I have subsequently had to buy new lights. I keep thinking about doing a review of them. So the lights I've got are, so the previous lights I got are called Slite, SLITE. They're by an Australian company, New Starter and all that. It looks like they've only got the one product at the moment, but I really swear by them because I think they're really good. I think to spoil the review, if I ever do a review comparison, the Slite lights have a better range of colour separation of sorts. Not separation, what's the word? Granular. You can granularly the control the colour. So if you just want a slightly darker or lighter yellow, you can. If you want it to add more light or bring down the dimness, you can. I think there's a greater range of that. Whereas the newer lights, newer spelled NEEWER, they run off conventional either power from the socket or camera batteries, and they're fine. They're good. They work. They work very similar to how they do. But there's something about the controls on the back I don't quite like. But it might be because it's different. But the other thing I don't quite like about this is that the granular changes you can make in this is far far further apart than you can with the slight lights. So I might end up having to replace the other lights myself, and because I like the slight lights so much that I can't be without them for too. Knowing the capability, I don't want to be without them for too long. But at least it gives me more greater range of lights that I can use at a studio or a location shoot. Mainly studio, because I think I'm going to use the newer lights for studio work rather than location work. But we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm just trying to describe how much I like these lights so much. They are I think they're one of my favorite purchases as a photographer. And you know me as a photographer. Well, if you follow me for my photography, I'm assuming you're following for my photography, not for my humor or my personality. Self-deprecating. Sorry, I've got to be nice to myself. Got to be nice. I am a decent photographer. I am a decent person. I should say that loud. But what was I going to say? I haven't quite used the newer lights in any photography situation. I just put them up, turn them on. Seems to be working great. Try to set them up in a way that I can quickly use them in a pinch, so that I know how to work them, how to use them. So, yeah, it's. I think I need to properly use them in the studio. So I think I have to set up a studio day sometime soon. Which, yeah, I need to sort that. But yeah, I'm jumping ahead. VeeamCon. So, you would thought that ruined my evening, and yes, it did. It ruined my evening. Seeing my lights go in the water, I just went numb, and I just didn't know what to do. Well, I did know what to do, but I think it was inappropriate to like scream and just break down crying in the middle of the thing. As I said, people who knew me just came up to me all of a sudden and went, "All right, Ed?" I went, "No." And everyone, like, "What happened?" I went, "My lights went in the water," and then everyone those who just saw me, went, "Oh, totally understand," walking away from you. Good, thank you. And then I was with Kevin Pack. We always go to VeeamCon together. We've been going since the first iteration of VeeamCon, and it's good to have someone who knows the event coming with me, greeting each other and just having a whale of a time at the event. It was so much fun. It was absolutely cool. But when he saw me, he said, "Look, put your stuff away." I think I was going to put my stuff away anyway, but I think I was going to go back to our cottage and go, no, come with me. We're going to spend time in the pool and just chill. And I was like, okay, cool. And it was, I will admit, it was hard to try to chill in the pool when all I can think was, it's like, I wish I was out there taking photos. I wish I was doing this. Because, like I said, last year, using my slight lights, I got so many photos that I didn't think I'll ever achieve when I first picked up the camera. Artificial light like that it's not really my forte. It still isn't my forte, but I'm learning, I'm getting there, and I'm choosing and picking out moments when to use these lights or not. There is a tendency that if you learn something new, you use it all the time, every time. You think, no, you don't do that. You pick and choose when to use these lights. That's another skill about photography, I like to think, is to know when to execute this technique or not. I think it's too easy if a photographer use the same techniques all the time, maybe stay in the same spot at a certain location at the Excel all the time. And you have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll just leave it at that. And if you do know what I'm talking about, you know how much that enrages me. But anyway, I digress. So I think, yeah, I'm trying to learn when to like use these lights and when not to. So yeah, I like to think I'm always improving as a photographer. Again, you probably heard me say this. I don't like relying on what I know and just be done with and be happy with it. I always think I can always do better. And I think if you can't think, can you do better? I think you failed as a photographer. No, I wouldn't say fail, but you're standing still and and then you allow others to like pass you and things like that. So yeah. So look, as I mentioned before, I had one bad event, one bad evening at VeeamCon. Did not ruin my whole weekend at VeeamCon, just to say. So I just maximised my time, what I did at VeeamCon, so you can use the pool area during the day. So I knew I can get some really nice ambient light in there and things like that. So that was cool. That was good. So I've just, again, just maximised the time I had in VeeCon in the Netherlands. And I honestly, I love this event so much. I've already actually bought my cottage for next year, 2025, and I still need to find people to join me. So there's a few of the people that I were able to work with, to live, to cohabitat with, they are unable to go next year. So I just took the plunge and bought it, and hoping I could fill it up quite quickly. But yeah, that's been my that's August really. Just seeing what happened in September. Yeah. Again, I've just been chilling really. Oh God. So yeah. So if you're a long time listener of the podcast, there is a there was a conversation between me and Libra Lee. She goes, "Oh, we're doing a photo shoot, aren't we?" I went, "Yeah, sure." And then forgotten that actually I agreed to do a photo shoot with her and a friend for a Final Fantasy thing. It turned out that I actually double booked myself that weekend, so that was fun. It was all right. It was all right, and things like that. And then again, she sprung up the dim sum on me, and I went, "What? No, I can't do it." I was having a stressy day. I was having a bad day that day actually. So, yeah, it just shows the mindset I'm in at the moment. So yeah, again, I've just been trying to catch up with photos and things like that, trying to keep up with, updating my website. I keep wanting to add more features to my website, but I just don't have the time. I really have no time, no energy to keep up all these things, and I keep saying, oh, maybe I should shut one of these down or just stop altogether. I don't want to. This still brings me joy. This brings me it, but as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I sometimes worry that I'm using this to cover the cracks about my life, and I really should need to actually explore this a bit more internally with myself and actually decide, is this healthy for me? Is this good for me? Am I putting too much energy into this than I am? So yeah, I think, yes, I said I used as much of my free time to edit photos, create podcasts, create content on my website, TikToks, and all that. It ain't easy, It's a as I mentioned before in my last Dear Diary, it's a very lonely experience for me at the moment. I don't know how other people get to do it and thrive and enjoy it, but it is like I said, 24/7 job sometimes. Like I wake up, go to work, come home, and I'm already thinking about, oh, I need to do things for my food and cosplay. I need to do things for my HKC website and things like that. I'm literally trying to do things at work, which I probably shouldn't, but I meant during my lunch break. This is, so I'm like using as much free time as I can to like do other things. But I will admit, been going out and enjoying life more than I probably did last year. I'm looking at my diary, and there's not much that says I've done things outside of here, but I have. But I know I have. I've just like said, it's like I hung up with my nephew a little bit more. Like I said, going to see friends, do some photo shoots. But recently, I went to see the theatre show 6, because she's never seen it. She's heard the soundtrack, but not seen it. And I thought I'll buy it for her as a birthday present. And she really enjoyed it. We had a really good time. It's my second time seeing it with a different lineup, and I still enjoyed it second time round. I think if there's ever opportunity for me to see it, regardless if I have to, if I have to pay for it or not, like there are occasions I can go with my job at times, and yeah, I will go regardless because it's so good. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of the best modern theatre shows. It's not theatre. It's not a theatre show. It's a concert, and I think I like that. Yes, and I think the costumes are absolutely beautiful. absolutely beautiful. It just reminds me, like, what's her name? What's her name cosplay? Beth Ann. She gets name checked even on the podcast she's not on. She does a lovely Berlin cosplay from that show, and I now understand. I now get it, and things like that. Actually, my friend, when me and my friend came away from that show, we were doing some research on it. There's different significance with the costumes. I think she said, I definitely remember this, is that anything with a high neck or a neck necklace, choker. That's it, choker. That's it. God, know these things, Ed. They signify the divorce. No, not divorce, beheading. the queens that lost their heads. So I thought that was quite interesting that there's so much depth and details into the costumes. It's really good. And then what else did we do? Oh, we went to the Friends exhibition. So, as I mentioned in the last Dear Diary, I went to the Batman exhibition. The Friends exhibition, I went recently, and I'll have to admit, I enjoy the Friends exhibition a lot more. And I felt a bit disappointed that actually I enjoyed that more than the Batman. Because for me, in my head, I quantify it by saying, Friends has been on TV for 10 years. And it's been, like, it's not been on air since what? About 2005, I think. I can quickly Google that. Let's Google it in real time. When did Friends end? Oh, 2004. 2004. So I was close. There's about, what was it, 80 years of Batman? Batman anniversary? Again, not embroidery. God. Anniversary. 2004. Eek. Sorry, I'm Googling this in real time. It's not telling me the year. I thought it was 80 years. No. Yes, when is the 80th? Yes. Oh, yeah, 85. Yeah, 85 years. Sorry, I'm so sorry I wasted your time. But 85 years of, like, Batman heritage. And yes, I saw a lot of the film props and all that. But that was it, really? There wasn't that many rooms of film prop stuff. And to be fair, I paid more money for the Friends exhibition than the Batman. But I think I got more money worth out of the Friends one than I did the Batman one. Don't get me wrong, if you're a Batman fan, and like I said in the Dear Diary Volume 2, if you enjoy Batman, go and see it. You'll really enjoy it. You'll get a good up and close look on some of the, past outfits, props that, that's been depicted in the films. But as if you're a Friends fan, I definitely would go to the Friends exhibition. My friend who actually been to an older version of that, an earlier version of that, should I say, they were saying actually, oh, this is different. This is a lot more involved than I went when they went in I think they said Cardiff many years ago. So yeah, I definitely would go to the Friends exhibition. I had to get myself a Hugsy stuffed toy, sits on my bed, and yeah, I'm not hugging it to bed or anything like that. You can't prove that. But yeah, I have been keeping busy. Let's put it that way. It's not like I've been sitting on my ass doing nothing. But again, there are days I do sit there and going, oh, I just cannot be bothered. I just cannot keep up with all of this. And like I said, I think I really do need to work out what I want from my life, what I need, and things like that. So yeah, I need to I think over Christmas I need to sit down and just think about these things again, and just say where I am, what I am, because like I said at the beginning of the year, I want to do less photography, not saying less photography, I shouldn't say it like that. I wanted to go to less Comic Cons and more location shoots, and I kind of got one side of that, but I haven't done quite the other thing. And a lot of it I haven't had the chance nor the energy to like ask and sort out location shoots with people. And it's really amazing how other people have. I think I was looking at like recently I was looking at Johnny Shem's work, and they seem to be like organising photo shoots left, right, and centre. And it's like, oh, okay then. And I do feel like I'm being left behind. and it's not great. It's not a great feeling to have, but I can only do what I can do. Like, I don't want to have too many projects on my hands. I mean, already I've still got, so right now today I've still got VeeamCon to do, the Final Fantasy one, and I did a recent one. Yes, so a couple of days ago from this podcast. Should I mention it? Should I? Oh no, should I? It's for my other brand. Let's put it that way. It's for my other brand. There's a real tight turnaround for that, so I need to sort that out. The photos are literally staring me in the face, and I need to actually just go through it, select photos today, and then that's done. But what was I going to say? I'm looking forward to do. So I've still got a few projects to do. VeeamCon ones that's going to take the longest. I think I've already sorted the photos. I just need to actually edit them, which I can just sit down and sort out. Talking about cosplay and all that. So what's the future? What will Dear Diary 4 look like? So, as many of you know, I'm not going to MCM London this October. I've got a few conflicts in my diary, and it's in my diary, so I can't get it wrong. So, unfortunately, I won't be at MCM London. I will have great FOMO not being there. I will be really missing a lot of friends that I see. I only get to see there at Comic-Con. So it's going to hurt that I won't be there. But where I'm going, I get to see other friends and things like that. So I am looking forward to doing that. But on a better news, on a different news then, I have been accepted for MCM Birmingham. So I'll definitely be going to MCM. But oh god, I just realised I need to book my. I still haven't booked my train. I've got a hotel. I just need to book. I need to book my train ticket, which I'll do this probably after this podcast. But yeah, I've been. I might actually. I think last year at Birmingham, I wasn't going to. Was it gun ho with the photography? I might do this year just to make up for MCM London. That will balance it out, things like that. So not that I'm going to do a schedule, but I'll definitely put it out there to say, like, if you find me, if you know that I'm here, just drop me a message, things like that, and things like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that at Birmingham MCM. But yeah, Birmingham MCM. God, in my head I thought I said that wrong. I don't know how I think I said in my head I thought Birmingham NEC rather than MCM. But I'm really looking forward to that. But besides that, I haven't got much on cosplay wise. There's one project I think I've got in my head. We haven't nailed down a date yet, so we just need to do that. But there's a few complications here and there, like anything that I run into. So that might run into 2025 actually, which is not going to be an issue. That's not going to be an issue. Like I said, I'd like to clear my backlog first, so I might do that. Oh, actually, I'm talking about what's her name, Beth. Then we're doing some secret content filming in the near future, so looking forward to that. What else? Yeah, it feels like I've got not much on, but I do. Look, I'm sure I'll look at my diary. I'm sure there's something that'll pop up. What's this? What's that? Oh yeah, that's fine. The birthday celebrations, all that. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to things. Yeah. I think it's probably good that things are starting to slow down and come to a halt in my life. So yeah, it's probably good that towards the end of this year things are slowing down. Probably not got too many things. Like I said, I want to get past, get sorted out VeeamCon photos and things like that. I might do. Do you know what? Yeah. I'll talk about it now. Let's talk about this. I might want to host a end of year maybe photo shoot at my favourite studio, Montrose Studios. I might look into getting some friends together, things like that. But if you're listening to this and you go, I like to come, I like to do that, I said, yeah, drop me a message. Proves one thing, that you listen to this podcast. And if no one messages me, then either one, no one listens to it, or no one wants to shoot with me. So, but that's not, no, I shouldn't guilt trip like that. I've always said, look, if you want to shoot with me, you shoot with me. If you don't, fine, not a problem. There are hundreds and thousands of photographers out there who can do equal or better than me or worse than me, and they still get more work than I do. So it doesn't mean anything, And like I said, I pick and choose the projects I want to do at times because, like I said, it's just time and effort, really, time and effort. What I was going to say next, but yeah, I might actually, yeah, that's really I like to do that. Yeah, might like a joint food and cosplay HKC studio day type of thing, things like that. I have one really exciting idea actually. Should I? I'm not going to mention it because again, I'm worried that if I mention it, it'll get somehow taken away from me. But I'm very experiment. I'm going to experiment with something that I've never done before, with material I've never used before. I keep seeing it online, and I want to try it out. So watch this space. It's a very more HKC website photography than food and cosplay photography. Sorry to be very vague again about it, but again, just I think when I get excited about a project, I want to do it now, but I want to plan it and I want to tell too many people about it just in case, like I said, someone else goes, "Oh, I like to do that," and gets taken away from me. So, yeah, I'm looking really forward to that. I probably want to bring it back round to the beginning, how I sounded. Look, I want to be real with you guys. I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not always happy. I'm not always in a good place. And again, there's nothing wrong with that for me. For others, that's up to you to decide if that's good for you or not. But I'm just saying for me, it's not a huge issue. I'm recognizing I'm not in a good place. I've started to put ideas together about how I'm going to change things or how I want things to change if nothing changes. Things like that. So I'm being really cryptic and vague, and I'm worried that people might take that in the wrong way. I'll say it one more time. I'm safe. I'm fine. I'm not going to do anything dangerous. I'm just recognizing where I am in life and how I want different things from different things. Just want different things now. But yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, I this year's been a lot of self development, and it may not be. I'm hoping people have seen it, or people have noticed it, and I think at the beginning of the year, a lot of people have seen it. I think towards the end of this year, I feel like, as I called it, I'm feeling I'm kind of rediscovering the old Eddie, and I don't quite like that anymore. I like the new Eddie, who used to be smiley, happy, outgoing, enjoying life. It might be related to the weather and all that, but I doubt it was. I really do think it's the circumstances in my life that's changed a lot. I've had to really tell myself to, like, don't let these people ruin my life, both, as I say, work related, cosplay community related, HKC related, personal related, things like that. I've got to, start cutting these people out, start prioritizing, and just move forward and so on. But yeah, I don't like always put myself first. I find that very strange, and I know that's a strange thing to say, but that is the truth for me. I'm not always thinking about myself. I'm not always thinking about me. I'm thinking about everyone else. And when I do think about me, it's about, oh my God, have I done this wrong? Have I done that wrong? Or I shouldn't be thinking about this selfishly and things like that. It's like, why can't I not think about this at a selfish level? Why? Why shouldn't I? So I just want to say that I am, as I said at the beginning, I'm struggling but not failing. Okay? I can admit that to myself. I'm going to admit that to you. Please, if you're fit, if what I'm saying to you go, oh shit, this sounds like me, this is like that, just please talk to someone. I think that's the best way to go about it. It's really talk to someone. How you want to deal with that, how you want to convey it's up to you. I'm not gonna dictate to you how you do that. But I'm just saying it's, talking helps. It really does. I'm all about positive mental health and all that and all that. I always think positivity it's great. It's moving forward. Mental health, it's such a forefront of my ethos at the moment, and I always promote that to people. So yeah, please, if you are needing to talk to someone, please talk to someone, family, friends, a therapist, ringing up a charity helpline, just please, like I said, I'm doing what I'm doing for me that works, and if you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, you have to listen to the podcast extras. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm okay. Not great, not brilliant. I'm okay, and that's okay. Maybe this is what I should call it, the OK podcast. But I'm going to end it now. I didn't realise I was talking for 45 minutes straight, and I think a lot of it's just me babbling and blah, 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 that type of thing. So I will be fine. I think I'm going to double episode this podcast. So you'll get this one day, and then another one for a couple of days later. I hope. So yeah. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and yeah, I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye, guys.